Welcome back to Deep Dive Library, where we do a deep dive on your favorite books. With me, as always, is my bestest friend in the whole world.
Really?
Mostly, yeah.
I know it's not true.
There's Mom.
Yeah.
But welcome back. We are sorry for the late episode. We were both under the weather, and Riker did not have a voice whatsoever.
Oh no. Unless you like sitting there listening to people talk like this basically the entire time, because this is basically what I sounded like. And
It wasn't great.
no, and it didn't feel great. And I still don't feel great, but
I feel that. I'm better than I was, but not great.
yeah. But hey, neither of us sound like we ate nails for breakfast, so
I'll
here we
take
are.
it. Yeah, but seriously though, we are deeply sorry for the late episode posting. We
Yeah.
both got sick at the end of last week and weren't able to record, and then we just didn't have time to record as we were starting to feel better, so we had to wait until we had the time.
Yeah.
Um,
Life, work, that kind of stuff.
yeah, like it was rough for a couple of days, but
If you want us to quit our day jobs, you can give us money.
uh,
I'm sorry.
all jokes
Uh,
aside, well, mostly jokes aside, this would be cool to do full time.
oh yeah.
Um, this would be very, very cool to do full time, but
I
we'll
mean,
get
if we
there
if
if
we
we
were
get
able to
there.
do it full time, maybe we could put out 2 episodes a week.
Do one episode of like a series, and then one episode of like just a one-off novel.
That'd be dope.
So we could
So
have like the Hunger Games and The
when
Fault in
we
Our Stars running, or the Hunger Games and
paper towns,
Paper Towns,
because
which
you
I've
haven't
never read.
actually.
I mean, I've listened to it mostly several times.
Yeah, but you haven't made it all the way through.
No.
I love how we just ended up naming 2 John Green books. Sup, John Green? Love you.
Watch our podcast, John Green. That would be awesome if we got a comment from John Green or the Green Brothers. Period. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, because I
Um,
do want to go through like all of their books.
that's fair.
You are getting a phone call. Excuse. All right. Well,
That
that
was
went
eventful.
nowhere.
I answered the call. They immediately hung up.
Yeah.
Um,
Or it could be that like when you were answering, it was like on the final ring. Because that
could be.
happens sometimes. If it's important, they'll either leave a voicemail or they'll call back.
Well, no, I answered, so there isn't going to be a voicemail.
Not necessarily, because if you answered as it's like on the final ring, so it's hanging up, they can still leave a voicemail because
Interesting.
it'll still go to voicemail for them, even though it's hung up on your side. So again, either they'll leave a voicemail or they'll call back. But it was probably nothing important.
Probably. Um, but yeah, if you guys want more episodes, and more books in between like the main, like whatever main series we're doing, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that
Yeah.
like button,
Make sure
and
to give us money on Patreon when we actually have a Patreon and stuff set up so you actually benefit from, joining our Patreon. If you have ideas about things that you would like for us to do on Patreon, leave that in the comments,
yes,
or send it to
because
our email.
which
Uh,
is should be linked now.
it
The
definitely should be.
I
It's
because I do
been supposed to
believe,
be.
well, I do believe I set it up to where they can email it, like they have access to email us.
Yeah.
Um,
So either leave it in the comments or send us an email. So then we can see all the stuff that you want us to do.
yeah,
And we love the interaction.
yeah. The interaction so far has been like pretty nice.
Oh yeah.
Um,
And we love reading the comments, even ones that are just like from our family being weird.
Yeah, and
Those are
actually, there
always
is a
fun.
comment, and I'll have to pull it up later. As we get so closer towards the end of the episode, I'll pull up the comment. That I absolutely adored. Um,
Oh, that's something that we could do.
yeah, and we talked about it in. I want to say we talked about it last episode.
Oh yeah.
But a lot has happened between recordings, so I'm not
Yeah.
100% sure that we did. If you
Gotta
guys
love
want
getting
us to
sick.
re-record episode 3, let us know and we'll put it on the to-do list. As of right now, we don't really have the time to go back and re-record.
And then
But
also record new episodes.
if you want us to go back and re-record episode 3, we will go back and re-record that episode.
Also, we're not going to spoil who it is just yet.
No.
But we do have someone looking to join us on the podcast for an episode.
And when that said person watches this episode, do not go in the comments being like, it's me, it's me, it's me. We want it to be a surprise for those others who don't know yet.
Yeah. And we've already got the chapter picked out that they will join us for. Mm-hmm. So, that's something to look forward to in the next coming weeks.
It'll be mid to late October if my estimations are right. If my estimations are right, it'll be mid to late October.
Yeah.
When that episode will come up, where we will have our first guest star, which I'm very excited for. That's gonna take some tinkering with.
Yeah.
To make sure. I think I know a way to
do like a few test recordings to make sure everything's going well.
Well, I think I know a way if we use my earbuds and run my phone through the sound card, it should pick up Discord no problem.
Yeah. We'll have to try it out.
So, yeah, like
to that person, look for us in the next coming couple weeks, doing test runs to make sure that everything is going good before the day of.
Yeah, so we've got some ideas. We got some stuff coming up. Again, our first guest appearance by a good friend of mine. So we are very, very excited for that. Still nothing.
I was gonna say a good friend of mine, but they barely know I exist. But it's okay. I know who they are.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's all the housekeeping out of the way.
Announcements and stuff like that.
Let's go ahead and dig into.
I like housekeeping, but
let's go ahead and take a swim into chapter 4. Because that's basically what Haymitch is doing right at the start of this. He is swimming in his own puke. Yeah, I made that joke. It wasn't a good joke, but I went there.
Yeah.
It's the Katniss and Peter are just kind of standing there.
Katniss and Peter.
I said Peter. I meant Peta. My language skills haven't gotten any better.
I think the problem is you said Katniss and Peta are, or you were trying to, so
and it just kind of melded.
Peter are.
Yeah. So Katniss and Peta are currently in the process of just kind of staring at Haymitch laying in his own filth.
If you remember where chapter 3 ended, Haymitch comes out and he's like, "I miss supper," and then he throws up and falls into the pool of his vomit.
Yep. Where is it? Where is it?
Just then, Haymitch staggers into the compartment. "I miss supper," he says in a slurred voice. Then he vomits all over the expensive carpet. Lord, you're messing me up.
I'm not doing anything.
And falls in the mess. "So laugh away," says Effie. She hops in her pointy shoes around the pool of vomit and flees the room.
Yeah, so we're coming right off the heels of that. Sorry, that was really bad. Those jokes are only gonna get worse, by the way.
Oh, most definitely. Especially from you.
Oh yeah, for sure. So yeah, we're just coming off the tail end of that. So they do the right thing here, and they pick Haymitch up, and they kind of haul him towards his bedroom.
Yeah. I mean, Katniss is like, obviously Haymitch isn't much, but Effie Trinket is right about one thing. Once we're in the arena, he's all we've got.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right. I guess this is what we're dealing with.
Right. I love how Haymitch is just like, "I tripped. Man, it smells bad in here." It's like, I'm thinking, bro, yeah, because you just puked all over yourself and fell in it.
I literally wrote, "Oh, I bet." And then he rubs it all over his face.
Yeah, which just
even more gross.
Yep, so they have lead half carry him back to his compartment where they haul him into the bathtub. And PETA does like the very noble thing here, and I love this. Where he's just like, I'll take care of this. You know, he's like he's kind of thinking about Katniss and the I don't want you to see a grown naked man.
Oh, it's probably even less about like I don't want you to see a grown naked man and more of um him, feeling in some way that this is their responsibility because he's their mentor, but also like, you know, he's like, okay, I'll take it from here. And she's like, I can't help but feel a little grateful since the last thing I want to do is strip down Hamish and wash the vomit out of his chest hair.
Yeah.
And Peeta's probably also thinking about that a bit, like, ooh, let's not, But then, she's just like, this is, if Pete is trying to get some brownie points with Haymitch, he's not going to remember it.
Yeah, no, Haymitch isn't going to remember this. Katniss offers to send some Capital people, attendees.
Yeah, she's like, all right, I can send in one of the Capital people to help you. There are any number on the train. Cooking for us, waiting on us, guarding us, taking care of us is their job.
Yeah, which is crazy. And I tried to find a good image of like the inside of a Capital train to put up on our background for this episode since we're still on the train.
Oh yeah.
But alas, all of them were like outshots or like shots with like cast members sitting like at the dining table, this is mahogany and all that.
And I have a comment for that when we actually get to that line.
It's not for a little while though, is it?
No. What? Oh wait, no.
No. I think we've already passed that line.
No, that would be this chapter. Because at least with where it is in the movie, that's when we'll get to
that's a movie line, isn't it?
I believe so.
But yeah, anyway. I couldn't find any good images of like a Capital train unless we were just look like we were like announcing from the Capital train station where Peter Mellark and Katniss Everdeen are going to be joining us soon.
Have arrived.
Like I didn't want that kind of vibe.
No, though I feel like you could have pulled up a picture of like where it's like just like Katniss and Peta like sitting there across from Haymitch or something, and it's just you and me instead of Katniss and Peta or something like that.
That would have been funny.
And just angle it perfectly so then we're covering them.
Right. Get a little Woody Harrelson in the background. But yeah, on that tangent.
You probably have to pay out royalties.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't afford that.
But Peta says he doesn't want any of their help. Katniss nods and heads to her own room.
And she's like, it's weird. Again, with the whole, if he's trying to win brownie points with Haymitch, it's likely not going to work because he's, he's drunk as hell, so he's not gonna remember it. But then she thinks it's because he's being kind, just as he was kind to give me the bread.
And I said, yeah, because he's nice. Yeah. Like, Katniss is her own worst enemy through large portions of this book.
Oh, yeah.
Because she reads too much into things.
Yeah.
Like in this, like he's just nice. He didn't want to see Katniss starve.
No. I mean, and we'll get to that later.
He doesn't want to see Haymitch, laying in his own filth.
Yeah.
He's just being who he is, which is a nice person.
Yeah, he's genuinely he's just a nice
genuinely guy. A nice guy, and Katniss just constantly misreads that. That.
But then, I mean, she goes and she's like, the idea pulls me up short. Excuse me. A kind Peta Mellark is far more dangerous to me than an unkind one. Kind people have a way of working their way inside me and rooting there. And I can't let Peta do this, and not where we're going. So I decide from this moment on to have little as possible to do with the baker's son.
And I highlighted that passage in like the little brackets and everything, and I'm like, you're playing yourself. Because again, it goes back into yourself. YASELF. My F is a little funky, but it's okay. And this next part kind of upsets me because when she gets back to her room, train stops for a refuel. I mean, you got to think they're haul assing. So like they're gonna need to refuel.
Yeah.
And she tosses the cookies out the window. Like, Katniss, come on. Yeah. Like, you threw them, like, you don't have to have anything to do with them.
And still eat the cookies.
But like, that's still sustenance. You want to put on weight. She's like, in the last chapter, she's like, I could do to put on a few pounds.
Yeah, she's like, one of the best things I could do between now and the time that I enter the arena is put on a few pounds.
The cookies would have helped with that. They're sugar. Sugar gets turned into fat. Well, at least in my case, because I don't exercise. Same. So,
if you couldn't tell.
Anyway, the way you looked into the camera after you said that was so uncomfortable.
Thank you. But you know,
the cookies land in a patch of dandelions, which pulls Katniss back into the boy with the bread story.
Yeah.
Just a later part of it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess more the aftermath of the boy with the bread story. Yeah. You know, it starts off, you know, she's saying that, you know, she saw the, like, after her and Peta looked away from each other, she saw the dandelion and she was like, and I knew hope wasn't lost.
Yeah.
And, you know, she plucks the dandelion and she rushes home and
grabs Prim in a bucket and they head to the meadow.
Yeah.
Where they pick
every last dandelion.
What I imagine is nothing short of a metric ton of dandelions.
Oh yeah. Like I feel like if it were possible for them to make dandelions have gone extinct in the meadow, they definitely would.
Yeah, because you can't do that with a dandelion, though.
Their
They're
seeds
a weed
are way
after
too
all.
much.
But yeah, if you didn't know, you can actually eat yellow and white dandelions. With the white dandelions, you want to burn the fuzz off. So take like a lighter and burn the fuzz off, and you can actually eat the seeds, the little seeds that will be left like in your hand or whatever.
But you probably would prefer just eating the yellow ones.
Yeah, but the yellow ones you can turn into like tea, which is really good for you, I've heard. Salads, like dandelions are actually really good for you.
Yeah, dandelion greens are great.
Yeah.
They're a great source of like vitamins and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a good source of iron. Sorry.
Wait a minute. Sorry, I just thought back to something. So, and this is a little unrelated. It's a little unrelated, but in the podcast that inspired ours through the Gryffindor, they started doing this thing where they would read the first sentence and then the dragons arrived, and it's 9 times out of 10 hilarious. And I want to test that with the first sentence of this chapter.
But it makes more sense for dragons to arrive in that series because there are dragons.
Right, but they're just like picking they're just like open a book to a page and read the first page, like read the first line and then add that. And I just want to see.
Okay, but how about and then the dragons arrived for this and then the peacekeepers arrived?
You know, it's funny that you say that because that was a thought process I had earlier in the day. So we're going to do that real quick. I'm going to do it both ways. Ooh, I just hit my mic. I want to do it both ways because I would just want to read the chapter, read the line and then say, and then the dragons arrive, because I'm absolutely obsessed with that podcast. For a few moments, Pete and I take in the scene of our mentor trying to rise out of the slippery, vile stuff from his stomach, and then the dragons arrived. It's it just works.
Yeah,
It
it
works.
does.
But it also works for if you
Hey,
were to
we have the
say,
same pencil.
"Oh, what do you know? I have more of an eraser though."
And that's because this is one of my drawing pencils.
That's fair. And I don't draw like I used to. But it also would work if you were to say, for a few moments, Pete and I take in the scene of our mentor trying to rise out of the slippery, vile stuff from his stomach, and then the peacekeepers arrived. And it's nice.
Or. For a few moments, Peter and I take in the scene of our mentor trying to rise out of the slippery, vile stuff from his stomach. And then the Fire Nation attacked.
Fair. The dragons arrived thing has been stuck in the back of my head, and I really wanted to get that out of my system. So thank you for indulging that. But it's kind of funny. Just could you imagine being on a train in this world heading to the capital city of your nation,
and then all of a sudden,
and then there's just dragons. Like it'd be
no, thank you.
wild. Anyway, back to where we were in the chapter. Wait, I think I went a page too far, perhaps?
Nope.
No? Okay. I just don't have much highlighted here.
So they go and, and then they, they pick the dandelions and the greens, stems and flowers. And then that night she's like, that night we gorge ourselves on dandelion salad and the rest of the bakery bread. What else? Prim asked me. What other food can we find? All kinds of things, I promised her. I just have to remember them. I mean, she hasn't been
in the woods in a while.
No, since her dad died.
Yeah, since her father died, and that was
what? He died in January, and it's not quite May yet. It's like March or April.
Yeah. So we'll say like mid to end of April. So it's been like 4 months.
Yeah. Well, no, because this is the day. So this takes place the day after.
The boy with the bread.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, in that she says that it was I think, did she say it was 6 weeks or a couple weeks?
I don't remember. That would be in chapter 2.
Right, hold on. This is my tab for Boy with Bread.
But while you look for that,
yeah, go on.
Let's see here. So Katniss's mother has a book from her apothecary shop that has a bunch of plants and herbs and things like that can be used for medicinal purposes. And Katniss's father, over the years, added to it with his own drawings of edible plants and what plants are and are not edible. Like that way, they can be careful about what they pick. So like most of the eating plants, you got dandelions, pokeweed, wild onions, pine tea. I don't know if you've ever had pine needle tea.
Mm-mm.
It's delicious.
Oh, is it?
Yes, and it's so good for you.
That part I knew. I've never had it.
It's really, really good. And they spent the majority of the night or the rest of the night poring over those pages, looking at what they could see to eat or to, what they could gather and everything. The next day they were off school. For a while, Katniss...
She just says several weeks to go.
Several weeks to go?
Yeah.
Okay. So Katniss just kind of hangs around the edge of the meadow for a while, finally worked up the courage to go under the fence and out into the woods for the first time. And it was the first time she'd been there alone since her father passed.
Mm-hmm. I mean, she probably didn't go in there alone when her father was alive, so it was just her first time in there alone.
Yeah, it's her first time in there, period, since her dad died, though.
Yeah.
But she retrieves her small bow and arrows, and it makes me wonder, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is because this is obviously in the past. The bows that she's using now, is it her father's?
I don't know if it is her father's or if he just made her a bigger bow for when she got bigger.
Because it's never explicitly stated.
No, I don't think it is, but it is I with the fact that she wears her father's hunting jacket and she specifically says that it's her father's hunting jacket, um and how much she has like this connection to her father. I have a feeling that if if it were her father's bow, it probably would have been mentioned. The fact that it's not, especially with the way Suzanne Collins does things, the fact that it's not makes me think that it is just a bow of her own.
That was
That,
made previously.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, because she does
And
say
can
that.
we take a minute real quick? And I know we're nowhere near this, but this thought just popped in my head.
Okay.
The bow in the movie, the arena bow in the movie,
Mm-hmm.
and the arrows being completely silver is so unrealistic. I mean, it looks nice, it's showy, it makes it easier to like track the arrows on screen. I understand why they did it, but like those flights on the back of that bow are completely, they look completely rigid, which would do nothing.
But she also says later that the like in the book that they are silver bows and arrows.
Do they? Okay,
Yeah.
but still, it's
So
unreal.
it's not just a movie thing.
Okay, and I couldn't remember because it's been a little while since I've read those parts of the book,
It's
but
been like a month since I've read this book.
that's fair.
No, it's been over a month.
It's definitely been
I've been
longer than
slowly
that.
working my way through Catching Fire. Very
Um,
slowly.
it's been longer than that because I just finished Vay, so
Yeah.
I went back and re-listened to all of Vay. So, um, which I think I might do again here soon because I really enjoy that series.
Yeah. We'll
But
get to that
I
one.
think it's weird because I mean I'm wondering if it's just like silver coated, like painted silver,
Mm-hmm.
because in the movie the flights look rather rigid, which is just unrealistic for a bow.
I don't know if like they never she never really describes exactly like every little piece
No,
of how the bow and arrows look in the books. So I don't
except for her
know,
compound bow in the third one.
but even then,
You get more description of that than you do in than any other bow in the series.
right. So like she describes the bow in detail and she describes what each of the arrows do slash are,
Right.
but it's not like she's going through like sections of the arrow describing exactly
The
how it
arrow, the
looks.
shaft, the flights. Yeah.
Exactly. Um, she doesn't do that at all
Is
for
it called
anyone.
flight? Are they called flights?
I don't know. I know what you mean. The little feathery bits at the end.
Yeah, and somebody will
Undoubtedly.
undoubtedly correct that in the comments if I'm wrong, or let me know of the correct name of them.
Yeah. I have
Um,
a feeling I know who it is.
I do too. Uh, but anyway, to get back on track here, um, she never really went more than 20 yards at first, which is kind of crazy when like, because that's still like in eye shot of the district, and
I mean, but that was kind of her point. Not so much to be in eye shot of the district, but so she could book it back to the fence
which
if she needed to.
she says that she does.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, what again? This is before she's really made quote unquote a name for herself with the peacekeepers and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So they would have just seen a kid on the other side of the fence, like in the woods hunting.
But they
I
all would have known her because of her dad.
Yeah,
And the fact that she constantly went in the woods with him, went into the hob with him, went selling with him.
Right.
So they would have known her.
They would have known her, but I still feel like it was just a big risk. Even
I mean, but it was that or starve to death.
Right.
So I think no matter, like, yes, it's
either way, it'd be pretty poor.
Even with her dad there, it was a big risk, but
Yeah.
they were going to take it because it was that or starve to death.
Right.
So, yeah, so, you know, it's just she knew that she had to do it, and she did it.
No, that's totally fair.
Um,
She had the good luck to kill a rabbit.
yeah, and it leads to some, good things.
Yeah, her mom.
She says that she shot a couple of rabbits with her father's guidance, but she's so proud of herself, and she should be, because this is the first one that she has done all on her own.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and she goes on to say that they haven't had meat in months, so probably like since soon after
I'm assuming.
dad died,
Well, I'm
or
assuming since at least after the grievance money ran out.
maybe. But meat it would definitely be more expensive than like grain and stuff.
Right.
So Katniss, knowing that, would probably have still like spent.
The majority of the money on stuff like grain and flour
Yeah.
and things like that. Oh, for sure, for sure. But I'm assuming at least sometime within that time period, she stopped buying meat because it was expensive.
Yeah.
But the sight of the rabbit kind of stirred her mom. She got up, cleaned the rabbit, made a nice hearty stew with it. And I thought this was interesting, right? Because she brings home this rabbit, and her mom gets up and just cleans the carcass and all that, and makes dinner with it, and then she kind of goes back into
Her stupor.
her stupor. I was gonna say catatonic state.
Okay,
Um,
that works too.
but I think the word used here is stupor. Um,
Then she acted confused and went back to bed. But when the stew was done, we made her eat a bowl.
so they don't, but both are good words.
Yeah.
But I wrote a little note to that next to that. And I said memories of husband.
Maybe,
Because I think I think her brain was just working on autopilot.
Yeah.
She got up, she did the thing that she would normally do when her husband brought home game, and then she realized he wasn't there and just kind of went back, kind of went catatonic again.
Yeah. But then she goes on, the woods became our savior, and each day I went a bit farther into its arms. It was slow going at first, but I was determined to feed us. I stole eggs from nests, caught fish in nets, sometimes managed to shoot a squirrel or a rabbit for stew, and gathered the various plants that sprung up beneath my feet. Plants were tricky. Many are edible, but one falls mouthful and you're dead. I checked and double checked the plants I harvested with my father's pictures. I kept us alive.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she's really, starting to feel that hope that they can, in fact, go on and just like keep at it.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Any sign of danger any sign of danger, a distant howl from a wild dog, a break of a branch, like anything at first was just like
she was like, back to the fence.
Time to go back. But she got comfortable. She began to climb trees to avoid packs of dogs instead of running back towards the fence, which is probably a better idea because the dogs can probably outrun her. But at the same time,
well, I mean, yes, but also, like she would hear them from a distance and
take
run.
off. Yeah.
So she'd still have a lead on them. But yeah, no, it's like the dogs, like even if they manage to climb the tree a little bit, they're definitely not going to be able to climb it as well as she can.
But on May 8th,
that's her birthday.
Katniss's birthday. She went to the Justice Building and signed up for Tessera and brought back her first batch.
She's a Taurus. That fits.
With her attitude? Don't come at me. You guys know. Those of you who are Taurus, you got attitude.
And you're hard-headed, and that really fits Katniss.
Yeah. But she brought back the first batch of grain and oil in Prim's toy wagon on the 8th of every month.
I just imagine this scrawny little kid toting around like one of those red wagons that we had when we were growing up, just the paint like peeling, chipping off of it, rusted a bit. But the squeaky wheels, we all know the squeaky
Oh
wheels. If
yeah.
you've been there, you know it. Um, so just like her dragging this thing behind her, just
Almost proud, I imagine.
yeah, just probably so happy because it's like finally, you know, food.
Right. And it's sad to think, but every week or every month, not every week, she'd be right back at the Justice Building doing the same thing. She'd take out another batch of Tessera, get another batch of grain and oil,
Well,
and
no, she wouldn't have to take out. So you do it once a year. So, and you do one tessera a year, and for each member of your family,
on the
and
8th of every month, I was entitled to do the same.
right, she was entitled to go and get the grain and the oil,
Okay, so you only take out the Tessera once for the year, but you.
and it covers you for the whole year.
That's right, that's right. Okay, that was my misremembering there. Okay, I apologize. Let's see here. The grain was not enough to live on, so she kept hunting and gathering. There were other things to buy,
As they're just like wheat.
soap, milk,
Yeah.
threading. So anything that they didn't need to eat, Katniss
Yeah.
was trading at the Hob.
Or
And
selling at the,
at people's back doors. Most of
she,
the game went to the Hob.
yeah.
A large majority of it, though. But like the mayor loved strawberries, and I love this here. The mayor had a passion for strawberries.
Yeah,
Like
I love, she talks about like remembering like which of the like townsfolk
liked what?
liked what, and then also picking up a few things
Mm-hmm.
of her own along the way, like
Right. The butcher would take the rabbits, but not the squirrel.
the
The
baker
baker
enjoyed
enjoyed the squirrel,
squirrels,
but
but only would trade when his wife wasn't around because she is a
is a
bitch.
bitch. Yeah, no, for sure. The head peacekeeper loved wild turkey, but like, come on, who doesn't love a good piece of turkey?
I love turkey. Um,
Turkey legs in amusement parks are not turkey; they're emu.
oh yeah, sorry to break that to any of you who didn't know that.
I've never seen a turkey leg with meat that dark though, even when it's smoked. So I went digging.
A turkey leg sounds real good right now.
Doesn't it?
I
mean,
guess
like
an emu leg.
an amusement park turkey leg does sound really good. Very fatty. Anyway,
if you can't tell, we're a bit hungry. We haven't eaten a day. Well, I haven't. Have you? He hasn't eaten a day either. We'll eat after this. And
technically I have because the last thing I ate was after midnight.
I will stab you with this pencil. And yes, the mayor has a passion for strawberries. He doesn't just like strawberries. He doesn't just love them. He loves them.
It's like
loves.
It's like Anton Ego in Ratatouille. He's like, I don't like food. I love it.
Yeah, that's the mayor with strawberries, just less creepy, and less.
Excuse
bless
me.
You.
Ooh, pardon.
Less being an asshole. Are we gonna have to blur out your fucking shirt?
Nah, it'll be all right.
I
hadn't even brought notice to it. I forgot I was wearing it. So
yeah. And then
late summer of her 12th year.
Why are you speaking like this?
I don't know. But late in the summer of her 12th year, she decided her mother was depressed.
Those who know will know.
No, but to say those who know what book that's from will think that's hilarious.
Everyone else will be confused.
Very confused.
But she is washing up in a pond when she notices the plants growing around her. They're tall with leaves like arrowheads, blossoms with 3 white petals. I knelt down in the water, my fingers digging into the soft mud, and I pulled up a handful of roots. Small bluish tubers that don't look like much, but boiled or baked are as good as any potato. Katniss, I said aloud. It's the plant I was named for.
And I love the description of the soft mud.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like
I can feel it.
yeah, and like it's a nice feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're swimming in like a pond or not
Like a lake.
like a lake or something,
or spring.
that
go to a spring.
yeah, we haven't been in a long time.
No.
Um
Coldest water you
that
ever jump into.
that soft muddy like texture when you're in like that pond. Like we used to have a pond down the street from our house when we lived in North Georgia, and the train tracks.
Yeah.
You would look like you were confused for a second.
I was, but I figured it out like right before
Got you
told me.
And that's exactly what it was like. It was a soft, like mud texture. That water probably wasn't safe to swim in, but we did anyway. Yeah. We never got sick from it, so.
Yeah, not that I remember. But then she goes on, I heard my father's voice joking, as long as you can find yourself, you'll never starve. And I feel like that, it's a joke play on her name being, the Katniss roots,
right.
So food. But also like as long as she never like loses sight of who she is.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a double meaning there.
Yeah.
100%.
Exactly.
Because Katniss's dad was a very smart person.
Yeah. And she's like, I spent hours stirring up the pond bed with my toes and a stick, gathering up the tubers that floated to the top. That night, we feasted on fish and Katniss roots until we were all, for the first time in months, full.
Yeah.
I felt a bit, just, eating the fish and the Katniss roots. It's like,
the fish and potato sounds really good, though. You don't like fish, but
potatoes always sound great.
Yeah. Let's see. Slowly, her mother started to return to them. She began to clean, cook, and preserve some of the food I brought in for the winter. People traded us or paid money for her medical remedies. And one day, I heard her singing. Prim was thrilled to have her back, but I kept watching, waiting for her to disappear again on us. And I highlighted that little section there because I'm like, although understandable, is kind of a sad way to kind of exist in that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like
not that it's again not totally understandable.
Yeah, her being wary about like whether her mom is going to leave them again or not is very understandable, especially with what her and Prim have gone through over these months. But I think it comes to a point where it's just like, are you really going to stay mad at her forever?
Right.
Especially for something that she could not help.
Right. And she goes on to say she had put that wall between them and everything, and she's like, now I'm going to die without that ever being set right. I thought of how I had yelled at her today in the Justice Building. I had told her I loved her too, though. So maybe that would balance out. And it's like Katniss, your mom knows regardless that you love her.
But I definitely think with how distant she has been from her mom, at this point, her mom really needed to hear that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I think it was still the right thing to do. I think it was a good thing to do.
I think it was also just kind of bittersweet because it's like, okay, finally, after years at this point of you being distant and stuff, you tell me, that you love me. But it's like now you're going off into arena to die, and
right.
I'm likely never going to see you again.
So,
R.I.P. Katniss.
In the distance, they can Katniss sees the lights of another district. Is it 7? Is it 10? She's not quite sure. She thinks about the people in their houses settling in for bed. Kind of brings again back thoughts of her mother. Are they sitting at home with the shutters drawn in and the house locked up? And you
Did they
know,
eat?
did they eat that night, or is it just kind of sitting there on their plates? And like that's fair.
Is um
Are they watching the recap on TV on the old TV in the corner?
and then she goes on to say, is my mother holding up being strong for Prim, or has she already started to slip away, leaving the weight of the world on my sister's fragile shoulders?
Yeah, and thankfully, we know that is not the case.
I
But
as
Katniss's
she
fear of that is
very
valid.
fair. But as her mom said to her in the Justice Building, she is able to treat herself now, where
Yeah.
she wasn't able to do that before.
Right.
So she almost definitely is treating herself
Mhm.
while Katniss is in the arena, because it's like, not because she's losing this provider, but it's like, okay, my oldest child is going off to die. This lovely reminder of my husband who is dead is going off to die.
Right.
So she's definitely having to medicate to keep herself in the right mind to take care of Prim and herself.
Katniss then proceeds, goes on to words.
Mm-hmm.
Think about Buttercup posting himself up at the edge of the bed to watch over Prim, and knowing that if she cries, he'll curl up in her arms and, lay there till she calms down. And I love this line. I'm so glad I didn't drown him. I had to highlight that because it's just a funny line. I'm so glad I didn't drown him. I don't think Prim would like you as much had you drowned him.
But the only reason why she didn't drown him was because of Prim.
Right.
So
I just think it's funny. I love that line.
Oh wow, look at that. You are once again receiving a phone call.
Well,
He's just popular today.
It's probably a scam call.
Probably that bitch from AmeriCollect.
It probably is calling from a different number with the same ID. I don't know how that's supposed to work. Let's see here though.
Jen, that's her name.
Mine's not Jen.
Oh no.
No, I think mine's like Amy or something like that.
I always get, hi, it's Jen from AmeriCollect, and I'm like, click.
Yeah. Let's see. Imagining her home makes her heart ache with loneliness. This day has been endless. And it's like, and we've all had days like that, where the thing you did this morning, in Katniss's case, it was eating, blackberries and cheese and bread, with Gale, seems like a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
Like a long dream that has deteriorated into a nightmare. She's like, maybe if I go back to sleep, I'll wake up back in District 12 where I belong. And like, we've all had days like that. I guarantee we've all had days like that.
But she's like, recognizes that there's probably like Jimmy Jams for her in the drawers. But she's just like, and she just strips down to her undergarments and she climbs into bed. And I bet that bed feels amazing.
Incredible. Especially with the sheets made of soft, silky fabric, a thick and fluffy comforter that gives immediate warmth.
Yeah, I'd be like pulling it up tight, but then also still stick my foot out the end.
Oh yeah, well you'd like go up and find the thermostat for the room and just knock that thing down a couple of pegs,
Yeah. Or if there wasn't one in the room, I'd probably be like, hey, can I get some help in here? It's a bit warm. It's
a bit warm.
Get get a capital attendant to like knock down the temperature. And...
Right. And she's like, if I'm gonna cry now, now's the time to do it. By morning, I'll be able to wash the damage done by the tears from my face. But no tears come. I'm too tired or too numb to cry.
We've all been there too.
I'm there currently. Mental health.
But like, not only have we all like just like been there of the like being too tired or too numb to cry, but also just like, you know, waking up in the next morning, your eyes just swollen, your face all splotchy red from crying yourself to sleep.
Yeah, so she let the train rock her into oblivion. And I have to imagine that is probably a very comforting sway. Like the natural sway of a train on the tracks has to be very comfortable.
I don't know, I've never been on a train.
I've never been on a train, and like these are like fancy trains, right? So I imagine that like the vibration of the train is quite, I don't want to say controlled because it's not the case, but that's the best word coming to my mind.
Minimal?
I don't want to say minimal either. Because this thing's moving at like 260 miles an hour.
Right, but she also says that you can like barely feel the train moving. Like after it starts moving.
True. So I mean, yeah, minimal might be a good word. But gray light is leaking through the curtains when a rapping comes upon her door. The Raven, evermore.
Lenore, are you in there?
I just got really sad thinking about one of the other books in this series. No spoilers, though.
Yeah, so, you know, the next morning, you know, she's sleeping and Effie comes and knocks on her door. And she's like, up, up, up. It's going to be a big, big, big day.
Your Effie voice is so good. I love it so much.
It's actually Caroline's. I just stole it.
But like still, it's such a good recreation of it.
And I can't honestly like I don't like being woken up in general. But I don't think I would be very pleasant to be woken up by such a chipper voice.
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right, Effie, it's you and me. We're going to.
Yeah, like, and even Katniss is even like, I try and imagine for a moment what it must be like inside that woman's head. What thoughts fill her waking hours? What dreams come to her at night? I have no idea.
Which is fair, because same, Katniss.
Like,
same.
And this is coming from people who have like read these, at least the main 3 books, several times, and even we still don't know what's going on, Katniss.
Yeah.
We've read your story and we're still confused about Effie.
Look, they could give me a book about Effie, Suzanne could, and I would still probably be like, I don't understand. That would be an
awesome story to tell, wouldn't it?
I don't. Yes.
It could be a novella.
Yes.
Because I don't know if there'd be enough information there to give a full-length novel.
Yeah.
But to do like a novella that ties into Sunrise would be really cool.
But I still feel like even if I read a full-length novel from Effie's point of view, being in her head the entire time, I still wouldn't understand a damn thing.
They're probably not. Effie is a very not complicated, but complex character.
She's a very confusing character.
But we love Effie. So Katniss gets dressed in the same outfit she wore the morning before.
Yeah.
Or like, the day before. She's like, it's not really dirty, so like...
It's just a little crumpled from sitting on the floor.
And
we've all done that.
I'm gonna say, who hasn't done that?
And if you're gonna sit here and say that you haven't done that, you're a liar.
Yeah, because like, come on. You went out for 20 minutes to go to Walmart and grab something for dinner. You came back and put on your pajama pants, so you put your jeans back to the side. They're still good.
Yeah, it's still good.
You didn't really sweat in them. They didn't get dirty.
We're still good.
Right? Speaking, I need to do laundry later.
Yes, you do.
But Katniss takes a look at the golden mockingjay and thinks of the woods and of her father. And of her mother and Prim waking up, having to get on with things. to kind of get back to normal. I mean, as much as
Yeah.
they can before the games.
They just have to even. It doesn't matter to like the people in charge that their family member is one of the tributes going into the arena. They still have to carry on like every other year.
Right. And it's like
That's
there's
rough,
what, a
buddy.
week?
Um,
A week and a half between arrival and games.
yeah, I think it's like a week between the the reaping and when they go into the arena.
Because this is not a lot of time.
No.
But so she left her hair the way it was. She's like, I slept in the braid my mom put up, but it doesn't look too bad, so we're just gonna
Leave it. And
keep
then,
going.
she's like, in like, what's the point of changing it anyway? Because the moment I get to the Capitol, I'm going to be put in the hands of my stylist, and who knows what the hell they're gonna want to do with me.
Right.
But she's like, I just hope I get one who doesn't think nudity is the last word in fashion, which is fair.
Also, a little bit
Creepy.
But I was gonna say also a little bit spoilery, but it's not gonna make sense to those of you who have not read those books. Reptiles.
Yeah.
Like those of you who have read the last book, that the Sunrise on the Reaping, you will understand. For those of you who haven't, read it. It's great.
And
then
then
you'll
you'll
understand. But yeah, no reptiles either.
Yeah, but like the thought that anyone would be like, yeah, let's dress these children in nothing.
Just should be immediately arrested.
Yeah, but I mean, we see what the Capitol's like later, so I mean, we see what they're like now. Killing kids.
So Katniss makes her way to the dining car. Effie Trinket brushes by me with a cup of black coffee as she's muttering obscenities under her breath. Hamish, his face puffy and red from the previous day's indulgences, is chuckling. So I could only imagine what he said to her.
Oh, he definitely said something awful.
Or just completely inappropriate.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't mean like he was over here calling her like a bitch or anything,
right?
But like he just said something that he definitely shouldn't have, especially because
she's like muttering obscenities.
Well, there's that, but then it's like Peta's holding a roll and looks somewhat embarrassed. So what the fuck kind of comment did he make? Like, is he embarrassed because he just sat there and witnessed that? Did the comment that Hamish made have something to do with Peta?
Was it just secondhand embarrassment?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's a great question. Let's see here. Peta, yeah. So
Hamish tells her to sit down, and she immediately gets like an enormous plate of food.
There you go.
2 ananas and too many. It's got eggs and ham, piles of fried potatoes. This is making me hungry. There's a tureen of fruit. It sits in ice to keep it chilled. A basket of rolls they set before me would keep my family going for a week. How many rolls are in that basket?
Yeah, but that's a lot of bread. That's a lot of bread. I thought about that myself. I'm like, wow. Yeah. That's a lot of bread. There's an elegant glass of orange juice, or at least I think it's orange juice. And this kind of makes me sad. Like, this shows you how expensive and how expensive fresh produce is versus how poor the Everdeen family is. Katniss says, I've only even tasted an orange once at New Year's when my father bought one as a special treat.
Just imagine that. Fruit. A special treat.
Yeah. Well,
I treat fruit like a special treat.
I do like fruit. Yeah. We need to get some oranges.
Yes. And some apples.
You can have all the apples you want.
Okay, so a couple apples because
but oranges, I want some oranges.
Okay.
Or some grapefruit. But we're not in grapefruit season yet.
Grapes.
Anyway, sorry. Yeah, we're apparently hungry today.
Yeah.
Actually, we're usually hungry when we sit down to read these because we haven't made dinner, and neither of us usually eat much during the day anyway.
No, and we also generally record a little earlier than this in the day. So.
Yeah, so let's see here.
Um,
There's a cup of coffee. Her mother adores coffee, but
it's too expensive.
it's expensive. Katniss doesn't like it because it just tastes bitter and thin.
Which means she is not drinking good coffee.
No.
The bitter part I get,
The coffee will have a natural bitterness to it.
Yeah. But
if you're drinking your coffee, if you're drinking black coffee and it tastes thin, you're not drinking a good cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Like this, like, and I don't personally like straight black coffee. If I'm gonna drink black coffee, I'm gonna put a little bit of sugar in there.
Yeah.
Same. Just to kind of balance that bitterness, because I don't mind the bitterness, but I don't like it being overpowering.
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna drink straight black coffee, I'll put a little bit of sugar, but it's never tasted thin. But like, I know what she means because the coffee at work tastes thin.
The coffee that we would make for when I worked at Lakeside, the coffee that we would make for the clients would not be great, but it was also decaf.
Was it in those gold packages though?
The
gold coffee bags from Cisco?
Mm-mm.
No.
But the coffee that we would make for the cafeteria, the cafe, would be pretty good.
Yeah. And then there is a cup of something Katniss does not recognize sitting there.
A rich brown cup of something I've never seen.
And Peta then explains it's hot chocolate and it's good. Katniss takes a sip of the hot, sweet, creamy liquid and shudders.
Because we all know what a good cup of hot chocolate is. It just hits that spot.
Yeah, like, I really want to find a good recipe for the hot chocolate from the Polar Express.
Hot chocolate. I think the last time I had hot chocolate, Chelsea and I were watching the Polar Express.
That's fair. We've got those hot chocolate powders in the kitchen. I'm kind of almost tempted to make some after this.
That's fair.
That raspberry and dark chocolate one that's in there.
You mean the ones that now belong to us because they were left here?
Mm-hmm.
And you can rebuy your own.
Yeah, because Chelsea does watch these, so she'll be like, "Oh crap."
My hot chocolate. Oh no.
We'll get a text from Chelsea about hot chocolate.
Like, don't you dare. Too late. I already ate it. Well,
Katniss ignores the rest. Like, she takes a sip of this and is like, "Wow." Like, she just like completely. She's like, "I'm hungry, but I'm ignoring this food until I've drained this cup."
Yeah, and that's what she does.
And then she stuffs down every mouthful she can hold, which is a substantial amount.
Being careful not to overdo it on the rich stuff because that's what got her feeling all sick and stuff last night. I heard that.
Yeah, I bet they did too.
Probably not because these are condenser mics, but
anyway, let's see. Growled. Yeah, so one time her mother told her that I always eat like I always leak.
I hope she doesn't.
Well, I said leek and I thought of the vegetable. So
leeks would be good.
Leek soup.
Leeks and some eggs.
Some potatoes.
Yes. Oh God, I'm hungry.
Anyway, Katniss's mom says that she eats like she'll never see food again, and Katniss pops back with, "I won't unless I bring it home." That shut her up, and I'm like, Katniss, that was rude.
Yeah.
Valid, but rude.
Very rude.
I couldn't imagine saying that to our mother.
Oh God, no.
I couldn't imagine that.
Like, right? Knock me into next week.
Right.
Love you, Mom.
When my stomach feels like it's about to split open.
Not slit.
Right. She leans back and takes in her breakfast companions. Peta is still eating.
He's doing like a thing that I feel like we need to get those yeast rolls from
Or
the chicken
Hawaiian
place,
rolls.
or that, and just sit there and like, cause he's tearing off pieces of the rolls and
Like,
dipping them in the hot chocolate and eating them, and honestly, those yeast rolls from the chicken place.
mm-hmm. And I saw this recipe. Speaking of rolls, I saw this recipe today on TikTok or Facebook or something,
Mm-hmm.
and it was turning Hawaiian rolls into mini um Boston cream donuts. So you take them, you brush them in butter and bake them just long enough to brown the top.
Uh-huh.
You get a Jello, like instant Jello mix, pudding mix.
Uh-huh.
Mix that up with a little bit of vanilla and a couple other things, and pipe it into the. You make a hole in the roll, pipe it in there, and then you dip it in the chocolate and let it set up a little bit, and then you got little mini like chocolate eclairs or Boston cream pie,
Dude,
Boston cream donuts.
I am so ready to be done with this chapter because I need to find something to eat because I am fucking hungry now. All this talk
So
about food.
Hamish hasn't paid much attention to his platter, but he's knocking back a glass of red juice that he keeps thinning with clear liquid from a bottle. Is he just like pouring white liquor into like grape juice?
Do we think it's grape juice or like cranberry juice?
Could be cranberry juice. That is more red.
Yeah. Or grape juice is more purpley.
Yeah. So it could be
but
cranberry
yes,
juice.
He's definitely just like
thinning off his booze. Like he's still drinking heavily.
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
She's like, judging by the fumes, it's some kind of spirit.
Yep.
And she says that, she doesn't know Hamish, but she's seen him around the hob, tossing handfuls of money on the counter of a woman who sells white liquor.
He'll be incoherent by the time we reach the capital.
And he'll probably be incoherent way before you reach the capital. He'll be incoherent in the next 5 minutes, probably.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Katniss realizes she detests Hamish. No wonder the District 12 tributes have never had a chance. It's just that it isn't just that we've been underfed and lacking training. Some of our tributes still have been strong enough to make a go of it, but we rarely get sponsors. He's a big part of the reason why. The rich people who back tributes, either because they're betting on them or simply for the bragging rights of picking a winner,
expect someone classier than Hamish to deal with.
Yeah.
Which,
fair.
I was gonna say hilarious. Not because it's like, oh, who is there classier than Hamish? Hell, my left toe is my left toe.
Your left toe is your left toe.
Yeah. My left foot is classier than Hamish.
So Katniss asks, so you're supposed to give us advice. Hamish responds with, here's some advice. Stay alive. And then he bursts into laughter, which is like so messed up. Peta, I exchanged a look with Peta before I remember I'm having nothing more to do with him. Stupid. I'm surprised to see the hardness in his eyes. He genuinely seems so mild.
Peta's over here like, I'm not trying to go down without a fight.
Right.
I don't appreciate your answer.
I mean, like, he literally smacks the cup of booze mixed juice out of his hand, and he's like, funny, but not to us.
Yeah.
Hamish considers this for a moment.
And then clocks him.
And then clocks him real good. Peta then reaches for some ice out of the tureen of fruit.
I would just like, he hits him hard enough to knock him out of his chair.
Yeah. Like, you know how hard you gotta hit somebody to knock them out of like a dining chair? Like they're sitting in a what I'm assuming is a formal dining room on this train car, right?
Oh, almost definitely.
So it's a capital train. So there's definitely very nice chairs, probably like armrests, everything. Hamish hits him so hard he goes over the arm of the chair onto the floor.
Yeah, he's just like, and it's interesting because it's like,
Haymitch's got some strength.
Well, it's like he's a drunk. He clearly doesn't even eat much because he's touched none of the food on his plate. How the heck does he have enough strength to punch Peta out of his chair?
Yeah, either that or it just caught Peta off guard that, which
it could have been that, or it could have just made Haymitch really, really mad that he lost his booze.
Right. He goes to reach for the bottle of liquor. Katniss grabs the table knife and stabs it into the table between the bottle and his fingers, barely missing his fingers.
And he's like, whoa, what's this? Did I actually get a pair of fighters this year?
Yeah, Peta picks himself up from the floor and scoops up a handful of ice. And starts to raise it to the red mark on his jaw. And Haymitch is like, nah, don't do that. Let the bruise show a little. It'll show that you've been in a fight. And Peta's like, that's against the rules. And Haymitch is like, only if you get caught.
And he's like, you got in a fight, you didn't get caught, even better,
Right. He's like, it'll play to your strength.
Yeah.
If that is, in fact, the case.
And then he turns to Katniss and he's like, can you hit anything else other than a table with that knife?
Yeah, so she's just... like... And hucks this table knife. Like, I'm not assuming it's a very sharp table knife. It might be like a steak knife or something. But, like, had I attempted to do something...
fairly good weight.
Had I attempted to do something like what Katniss does here, with throwing it across her and trying to get it to stick in the wall, it would have hit handle first. 100%. But no, Katniss just accidentally embeds it between two panels.
Yeah. I mean, and she does say that, she's had
some practice with a knife while hunting.
Yeah, because she's like, sometimes when you wound an animal, it's better to get a knife in it before you get closer. So she's used to throwing knives.
Yeah, but
she also says that she wasn't really aiming to get it lodged between the two panels, and that it just makes her look better than she actually is.
Yeah, I highlighted that too. Let's see. Haymitch tells them to stand up and come stand
in the middle of the room.
Over here. I was gesturing with this arm, which is off camera, so you can't see that.
And that's also the very edge of this room.
Yeah, so like they'd be standing in our backyard, which is a little
Let's
overgrown.
not talk about it. So he wants them to stand in the middle of the room, and they do, and he circles them and is prodding. She's like, we obey, and he circles us, prodding us like animals at times, checking our muscles, examining our faces. Well, you're not entirely hopeless. Seem fit. And once the stylists get a hold of you, you'll be attractive enough. Okay.
Yeah, so Katniss...
Call me ugly.
Katniss says that, the Hunger Games aren't a beauty contest, but the best-looking tributes seem to pull more sponsors, which I guess is fair. They want the prettier ones to stay alive.
That,
For their obscene after-parties. God, the Capitol people infuriate me so much.
And then Haymitch is like, all right, I'll make a deal with you. Don't interfere with my drinking, and I'll stay sober enough to help you. But you have to do exactly what I say. And Katniss notices, it's not much of a deal, but it's at least better than where they were 10 minutes ago.
Right. Where they had no guide at all.
Exactly.
Peta agrees. Katniss says, so help us. When we get to the arena, and she just starts rattling off this question. Like, I mean, she's obviously had it the whole time, but she's like, okay, so like, when we get to the arena, what's the best strategy for the cornucopia for someone? And then Haymitch cuts her off. He's like, one thing at a time. In a few minutes, we'll be pulling into the station. You'll be put in the hands of your stylist. You're not going to like what they do to you, but no matter what it is, don't resist. Katniss goes, but...
He's like, no buts. Don't resist. And then he takes a bottle of spirits and turns and leaves the car.
As the doors swing shut, the car goes dark, and I can only imagine that would be like low-key horrifying.
It's like, did you just turn off? Wait, hold on a second. The lights are still on.
Who turned out the lights? Those of you who get that reference will also like that one.
Yeah, or be terrified. And she notices that the few lights that were on inside are still on, but outside it's as though it's nighttime again. And she realizes that they must be in the tunnel that runs through the mountain into the capital. And says that the mountains form a natural barrier between the capital and the eastern districts. It is almost impossible to enter from the east except through the tunnels. Their geographical advantage, this geographical advantage, was a major factor in the districts losing the war that led to my being a tribute today. Since the rebels had to scale the mountains, they were easy targets for the capital's air forces.
Yep.
So, like, they were just.
So Peta and Katniss stand in silence as the train speeds along. The tunnel goes on, and I think of the tons of rock separating me from the sky, and my chest tightens. I hate being encased in stone this way. It reminds me of the mines my father, trapped and unable to reach sunlight, buried forever in the darkness.
Which is just like, oof. That's big oof. Like,
yeah.
But I also, like, I don't have any experience with mines or caves or anything like that. I don't really have those where we live. I've been under bridges, which is in tunnels, so that's like the closest to that I could experience. But like, I feel like if I wasn't going to be afraid of it before going through this series, definitely am a little after going through it.
Right. So as the train begins to slow, and suddenly bright light floods the compartment.
Which, imagine that, like, you're inside and it's like fairly like dim lights, and then all of a sudden, wah!
Bright lights come back. Yeah, I'd be like,
it's like, oh, my eyeballs.
For sure. But they both can't help it. They take off towards the window to see what they've only seen on TV. The capital, the ruling city of Panem. The cameras haven't lied about its grandeur. If anything, they have not quite captured the magnificence of the glistening buildings and a rainbow of hues that tower into the air, the shiny cars that roll down the wide paved streets, the oddly dressed people with bizarre hair and painted faces who have never missed a meal. All the colors seem so artificial. The pinks too deep, the greens too bright, the yellows painful to the eyes, like that flat round disc of hard candy we can never afford to buy at the tiny sweet shop in District 12. People begin to point eagerly at us as they recognize the tribute train rolling into the city. I step away from the window, sickened by their excitement, knowing they can't wait to watch us die. But Peta holds his ground, and I think this speaks a lot to Peta and his ability to play the audience, because that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Right, he's playing the audience. He doesn't agree with it any more than Katniss does.
And she doesn't know that yet, but, she will eventually. I mean, she probably knows it to a certain extent that, because they both come from District 12. His odds of winning are just about as good as hers are. More or less in either direction.
Right. But he's playing, the crowd, and he's like, hey, look, maybe one of them's rich. He's already playing that angle of, let's get sponsors. Can we get sponsors?
Yeah, and he's like, come on, we're gonna need to eat in that arena. And then she's like, I've misjudged him. I think of his actions since the reaping began. The friendly squeeze of my hand, his father showing up with the cookies and promising to feed Prim. Did PETA put him up to that? Honestly, PETA probably didn't even know about that.
Nope.
His tears at the station, volunteering to wash Hamish, but then challenging him this morning when apparently the nice guy approach had failed, and now the waving at the window, already trying to win the crowd. All of the pieces are still fitting together, but I sense he has a plan forming.
Yes, he does.
He most definitely does. He hasn't accepted death. No, he hasn't. He's very much looking at this situation like, okay, from what we can see from him here, it's like, I don't want to die.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to do everything in my power to make sure that that doesn't happen.
Yep.
And then she's like, he is already fighting hard to stay alive. Which also means that kind Peter Mellark, the boy who gave me the bread, is fighting hard to kill me. And that's where that chapter ends.
And I highlighted that last thing, and I'm like, not quite.
I mean, yeah, we don't know Peter's intentions as of this point.
No.
So we don't know if he's planning on, Katniss being like the first person he takes out, or if he's planning on like just trying to avoid her and hoping that somebody else kills her in the same way that she said about hopefully someone else will kill him.
Right. But yeah, that's the end of chapter 4. It was not a long chapter.
No, this is actually quite a short video for us.
What was just surprising when I was reading through it, because I'll usually read like the first 2 or 3 pages, and then I'll look ahead to see what I've got left.
I can see him moving over there.
And it's like, wow, there's not a lot going on here. And it's like what happens in this chapter is very much so important.
Yeah.
Because it is laying the ground rules for Hamish and Katniss and Peta and how they're going to then interact with each other in the coming days, Katniss misreads quite a bit of it, as she tends to do.
Also, though Katniss and Peta didn't find Hamish's comment about stay alive very funny, I did.
No, I think it's hilarious, but we're also not in their shoes.
This is true. But like, it was less the fact that he said it or what he said, and more the delivery of it that makes me laugh.
Right, that's completely fair. I'm very excited for next chapter.
Yeah, me too.
Because we will meet
some people.
Some very, very naive but incredible people.
Oh, you had a comment.
Oh, yes. Give me just a minute. Let me get that pulled up.
I'm also very excited for next chapter. I wouldn't say that it's like my favorite chapter.
No.
Not by a long, or like not throughout this whole book, or like even like chapters for like before the arena, but I do love this next chapter. We get a little more, peek at some capital people. So far, really, we've only encountered Effie in terms of capital people. So we'll get to see more up close, strange capital people.
Yeah, like who are in some cases even stranger than Effie.
Yeah.
And in some cases complete opposites of what the capital would expect of somebody.
Yeah.
With one person in particular. Yeah, I got the comment right here. It says, so this comment is from Dre7508. says,
Thank you, Dre.
I love you guys. I love that you guys are doing this podcast. I've been wanting to reread. Uh, I've been wanting to reread this for the first time since I was in middle school because I've just recently binged all the movies. But I feel like it would take me forever to read. A podcast with commentary is exactly what I need. Lamau following, and I love that. I was just like, because this a lot of us read this and I didn't in middle school.
No,
but like
but I did.
you did. And a lot of people that I know.
Was I don't remember if I was in middle school or
I think you were in 8th grade the first time you read it.
I don't remember cuz I know it wasn't too long after. It was definitely before the first movie came out. That I read it. I just don't remember if it was like so.
When was the publication date on that book? Is that what you're looking to see?
I have made a grave mistake.
What's that?
This is a first edition book.
Is it?
First edition, October. This is a first edition book.
And you've been writing in it.
Yep.
And highlighting it. Well, the value of that book just went right out the window.
That's okay. I wasn't planning on giving it away. Anyway, but I didn't read it in 2008. It was a couple years later that I would go through the series.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Like late elementary school, early middle school, probably.
Maybe. But so I didn't read these books in middle school, but I know a lot of people who did. But like, I love this comic because it's like, you know, first reread since middle school. It's like, yeah, these books were coming out when most of us were kids, and we're still reading and rereading them now. So it's cool to like see this comment because it's like,
yeah, because you were like 10 when this book came out.
Yeah, it's cool because like,
no, October. So you were 11.
Yeah, 2008. Yeah. You killed my train of thought. Hold on.
Sorry.
No, you're good. It makes me curious as to how many other people who are like finding this
like haven't gone
through them since the original 3 were coming out.
Yeah.
And like maybe don't know that there are 2 new books or haven't read the 2 new books.
Yeah. It's like because I know like
which if you have not read the last 2 books and you were watching this podcast,
I mean, you can wait until we get there and go through it with us.
You could, but I would recommend reading them prior to us getting there because there are going to be a lot of jumps that we're going to make. I would recommend rereading everything before we get there because there are going to be things that we're going to be referencing to all over this series once we get into the later 2 books.
Yeah.
It is going to be very difficult to keep up with if you're following along just through the podcast. So I highly recommend that you read the 2 new books. At least the 2 new books, if you have not, and we've got plenty of time before we get there. Because we have another, we're on chapter 5. We're going into chapter 5 for next week.
Mm-hmm.
There are 27,
I believe. I think that's what we figured out.
27 chapters in this book.
No, that's yeah, 27.
27. Okay, so we still have 22 chapters. That's another 22 weeks.
Yeah.
Just for this book alone. So we've got
it's gonna take some time.
Yeah, the first 2 books are gonna take us just over a year to go through. The original 3 as a whole are gonna take about, I'd say probably almost 2 years.
Yeah.
To go through the entire first series.
Unless for some reason we are able to start doing multiple
episodes a week. Yeah. If you guys would like to see that in the future, that's not something that is quite viable at this time.
Yeah.
But if that's something that you guys want multiple episodes of the Hunger Games itself a week. If you guys want an episode of Hunger Games and an episode of another book, like a one-off book,
Yeah.
the
Like
best way to help us get there is by supporting the channel.
Yeah.
Liking videos, commenting, subscribing, sharing with friends and family via links, word of mouth. Anything helps.
Force everyone you know, whether they have read the series or not, to listen to the podcast if you're enjoying it. Just do it.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
And if you want your comment read next week, leave a good one in the comments.
Yeah.
And we'll take a look over the next week as, everything starts coming back from this episode, and we'll see what we like the best, and we will read it at the end of the next episode.
Yeah.
Or the beginning. Who knows?
Yeah. It'll probably... I mean, we're posting this today.
Yes, this will go up today as the time of recording.
Yeah, so we might do comments from 4 and 5 for video 6, since we're recording 5 in like a couple days.
Yeah, so it might be a couple weeks because, again, we were sick, so it'll be a little bit of a slow rebuild into getting everything together.
Yeah. But leave a good comment, and maybe it will be featured in our next video.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll cut together something at the end and be like, comments.
Yeah. Who knows? I guess we'll have to find out. But yeah, seriously, if you guys are enjoying, please make sure you leave a like on the video. Please make sure you let your friends, family, cousins,
neighbors,
your goldfish, put it on for him to listen to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
leave it on for your pets when you leave the house, so they can listen to our voices, so they don't feel so alone while you're gone. Help that separation anxiety.
And Max, if there's a Max watching this, thank you.
Why Max?
It was the first name that popped into my head, but somebody's gonna watch this one day whose name is Max, and they're gonna be like, heck yeah.
They're gonna be like, you're welcome.
Yeah. So thanks, Max. We appreciate you.
And to all of the people who are currently going, and listening to the series as we go through it, thank you guys as well. We really appreciate it.
The feedback we've been getting so far, outside of like some technical issues, aka episode 3,
we're sorry
which
about
were
that.
noted. We made note of them, and hopefully this episode is considerably clearer. We did some tests, audio tests
8,000
before
audio tests
we started recording today. But hopefully, in moving forward, we're going to make sure that the audio comes through very clearly, so we don't have a repeat of that.
Yeah, because I didn't listen. I didn't go through and sit there and listen to the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But just hearing the crunchy audio at the beginning of the videos, like.
Yeah, and I don't even know what caused it. I could not find a cause.
I don't know.
So
it's not like our setup is literally any different than it has been.
No. So
I was gonna say, or will be. Eventually our setup will be a little bit different.
Yeah.
But
we're looking at getting a new audio interface. Something a little bit better.
We're also looking to get a bigger table.
Yeah. But for now, this does the trick.
Yeah.
So with that, please remember to renew your books on the way out, and we will see you back here at the library next week.
Bye-bye.